Our verse today is 1 Kings chapter 19 verse 12. And after the earthquake a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire the sound of a low whisper. Our verse comes from 1 Kings chapter 19, a story that reveals the weakness and humanity of Elijah. Elijah had defeated and killed the prophets of Baal on Mount Carmel in 1 Kings chapter 18. When this news reached Jezebel, she was outraged and threatened to kill him. The great prophet fled for his life into the wilderness, where he even contemplated death. However, with the help of an angel who brought him food and water, he found the strength to journey to Mount Horeb for 40 days and 40 nights. On Mount Horeb, he experienced a theophany, the manifestation of God. In verse 11, a voice instructed Elijah to come out of the cave where he was hiding and stand on the mountain before the Lord. There the Lord passed by. A great and powerful wind tore through the mountains and shattered the rocks. But the Lord was not in the wind. After the wind came an earthquake. But the Lord was not in the earthquake. Our verse continues the account of this theophany. After the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came the sound of a low whisper. Then in verse 13, when Elijah heard this gentle sound, he went out and stood at the entrance of the cave. He recognized that God was present. There are two questions we want to address in this verse. First, why was God not present in the wind, the earthquake, and the fire? Second, where do we look for God? Why was God not present in these dramatic events? In the theophany on Mount Sinai, God manifested himself to Moses and the people of Israel through fire. If you read Exodus 24 verse 17. Likewise, the prophet Isaiah describes God as revealing himself through thunder, earthquake, great noise, wide wind, and tempest. If you read Isaiah 29 verse 6. Yet on this occasion, God was not present in these extraordinary manifestations. Some scholars suggest that God chose not to reveal himself in this way because Baal, the god of the prophets of Jezebel, was associated with thunder and lightning. In doing so, God made it clear that he is greater than Baal and does not compete with false gods. He is free to manifest his glory in whatever way he chooses. In fact, the sound of the gentle whisper had a far deeper effect on Elijah. It drew him out of the cave, and there God spoke to him. This leads us to the second question. Where do we look for God? Is it not often in the big events of life or in extraordinary experiences? Very often we seek God only in remarkable moments. We acknowledge him when great things happen, yet we forget that he is equally present in the ordinary events of daily life, especially those we take for granted. The sound of the gentle whisper symbolizes God's self-revelation. We are therefore speaking not merely of the absence of noise, but of a sacred stillness in which God reveals himself. If we want to hear the voice of God, we must create that atmosphere of stillness. We need to step away from the noise and busyness of life. This stillness is not only freedom from external noise, but also from the internal noise of anxiety, distractions, and restlessness, and restless thoughts that can prevent us from hearing God's gentle whisper within us. In that stillness, we begin to recognize God's presence even in the smallest events around us. We come to see his manifestation in the trees, in other people, in creation, and in the ordinary moments of everyday life. Lord, may we see you in the small events around us and acknowledge your power and presence. Amen. God bless you, and I wish you a great and wonderful day.